Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be showcasing Inadu in the Vampire Origins. So she costs 2,000 Robux and she's quite worth it because, as you can see, she's got a lot of keybinds and very effective spells. So let's start with the keybinds. First we have Hallucination, which it doesn't really make them lose any health, but it makes them hallucinate for like a couple of seconds, and this has got a 20 cooldown. Next, we've got Choke, which will just choke the victim. It makes them lose quite a lot of health depending on how long you do it for, and it doesn't use up too much magic, which is really good. Next, we have the Heart Crush, which is keybind X, which will just crush the victim's heart, and it works on Sybil, and otherwise to do it the character has to be under 250 health. Has a 20-second cooldown, I'm pretty sure, and it's very effective. The keybind L is Absorb, which makes them lose quite a bit of health depending on how long you do it for. This has a slightly longer cooldown and it's about 40 seconds. Next, you have the keybind Trip, which will just make them fall on the floor. This is good for like a little distraction while you get your spell or keybind ready. Next, you have Inadu's Self-Heal, which will just heal you. Doesn't take up too much magic, which is really good, and it looks really good. Next, you just have the classic Push, which I'm pretty sure most witches have, but that will just push the target against the screen. Away from the screen. Next, you have Ossix, which I'm pretty sure will only work on a vampire. Oh, or it also works on Sybil, but mostly it only works on a vampire. It's got a really short cooldown, which is very good, and it's really good if you're fighting against vampires. So while we wait for her to wake up, next we have Dragging, which allows you to drag the target anywhere, following your mouse or cursor, or yeah. Next we have the Projection, which just teleports your character. Very good, and it's got a really short cooldown. Next is Possession, which will allow you to take over the victim's body, like Inadu does in the show. So as you can see, I'm now Sybil and I can walk around. The only bad thing about this is it has a really long cooldown, but it's really good if you want to escape people that are like maybe trying to kill you or something. You can like escape them really easily by possessing someone else. Next is the Orb form. It just allows her to turn into a blue light and just travel. Doesn't take up too much magic, and you can stay in that position for quite a long time, which is really good if, again, you want to escape your enemies. Next is the Hollow Scream. It's really good as it takes quite a lot of health and it also pushes them across the map. The next keybind that we have is Bone Manipulation. If you press P, this will just snap some of the target's bones. It doesn't take up too much health, but it's quite a good amount, which is really good. Next we have the Hollow's Eyes. This is just where the eyes turn blue and doesn't really do anything, just maybe scare the target a little bit. Next we have the classic Pain Infliction, which I'm pretty sure every witch has, but it's really effective. Takes up quite a lot of magic if you keep going, but you can do it for as long as you want. It doesn't have too long cooldown. And next you have the Telekinesis, allowing you to move the victim anywhere you want. So now moving on to the spells, we're here with Dark Josie, and yeah, let's try some spells. So first we have this spell, which will basically turn the victim into a werewolf. Every bone in the body will start to break, as like in the film, and if it's a witch, vampire, or anything, it will basically just turn into a werewolf, trapping them in werewolf form. So this is really good because if there's a witch trying to attack you or something, you can just turn them into a werewolf. However, it does take up 1000 magic amount, which is okay because Inadu has 2800 and it's a 300-second cooldown, but that's not too bad. Moving on to the next spell is the preservation spell, otherwise known as the immortality spell. For this, you'll need to place down bone and type in the spell, and this will protect you from any harm, and only people with the most amounts of magic will be able to disable a spell. But if you hide it, this shouldn't be able to happen, and Inadu will be safe from all harm, which is very good. Inadu also has the mass bone break spell, which will break the bones of several people around her. It doesn't take up too much health, but again, it's a great distraction. Inadu also has a spell that kills an original vampire. It's really good as you can kill the originals, Klaus, and any original that Esther makes, which is very good. Next, we have the blood curse spell, which again, quite a few witches can do it, but so I'm not going to demonstrate it, but yep, this is very effective. Next, she has the blood choke spell, which just chokes the victim and blood comes out of the mouth. It takes up quite a lot of health and it's very good. So I love to use this. So next we have a lightning spell, which I think quite a few witches have, that will just blast lightning at the target and takes up quite a lot of health, which is very good. Next, we're just going to do this quickly so we can do the resurrection spell. So she also comes with a resurrection spell, which is very good as she is one of the only few witches that has their own resurrection spell. So this just allows Inadu to raise the target from the dead, which is very good. It has a 120 cooldown, which is quite good. And that is all for the showcase of Inadu. Bye for now. Hope to see you in the next video.